Do these 5 things now to transform your garden into a fall harvest goldmine. Fellow gardeners, August doesn't have to mean watching your garden slowly surrender to the season. While most gardeners accept that late summer signals the beginning of the end, smart gardeners know this is actually when the magic happens. These 5 strategic moves will transform your tired August garden into a productive powerhouse that delivers results well into winter and sets up next year for incredible success. Force your tomatoes to ripen faster with this simple trick. Here's a technique that feels wrong but delivers amazing results. 30 days before your expected first frost, remove the growing tips from your tomato plants by simply snapping off the top growing point of each main stem. So, this redirects all that wasted energy from producing, useless late-season growth into actually ripening the existing fruit and making those green tomatoes grow larger. The science behind this involves plant hormones called auxins, which concentrate in the growing tips and signal continuous vegetative growth. When you remove these tips, the plant suddenly shifts all its resources toward fruit development. Think of it as telling your plant to stop building new rooms and focus on finishing the ones already under construction. Your timing is honestly pretty crucial here. Count backward 30 days from your average first frost date and mark your calendar. For most temperate zones, this usually falls in mid to late August. While some studies debate its effectiveness, experienced gardeners consistently report larger, more flavorful tomatoes that ripen weeks faster than untreated plants. The technique works especially well on indeterminate varieties that naturally keep growing until frost kills them. Turn late summer into your fall crop launch pad. August presents the perfect window for starting cool season crops that will provide fresh vegetables long after summer plants have died. The secret lies in understanding temperature dynamics that most gardeners miss completely. Once nighttime temperatures drop below 70 degrees and daytime highs stay under 85 degrees, you've hit the ideal conditions for planting broccoli, cauliflower, cabbage, kale, arugula, and lettuce varieties. These crops actually prefer these conditions over summer heat and, honestly, will germinate faster, grow more vigorously, and develop superior flavor when maturing in cool fall air. Start by enriching your planting beds with fresh compost or well-aged manure. These crops are heavy feeders that reward rich soil with impressive heads and leaves. Plant seeds directly in prepared beds or start transplants indoors for more control. Within 60 to 90 days, you'll be harvesting vegetables that taste dramatically better than store-bought varieties, with that sweet, crisp flavor that only develops in cool weather. If you have basic season extension tools like row covers or low tunnels, you're looking at fresh harvests well into December or January, depending on your climate zone. The key is establishing these plants while soil temperatures remain warm for germination but air temperatures stay cool enough to prevent stress. Multiply your perennials for free with perfect fall division. Late summer through early September offers the ideal window for dividing perennial plants. Imagine turning one mature plant into 5 or even 10 without spending a dime, all while rejuvenating your existing plantings. It's quite the deal, isn't it? Look for perennials that are showing signs they need division. You might notice dead centers with vigorous outer edges, reduced flowering compared to previous years, or perhaps clumps that have simply outgrown their space. Plants like daylilies, hostas, black-eyed Susans, and most ornamental grasses respond beautifully to fall division. Fall division often succeeds better than spring division. Why is that, you ask? Well, it's because plants have months of moderate weather to establish new root systems before winter dormancy. When spring rolls around, they emerge as strong, independent plants, ready for vigorous growth instead of spending their first season just recovering from division shock. Now, the process itself is pretty straightforward, but it does require the right technique. First, water your plants thoroughly the day before dividing. Then, dig up entire clumps, making sure to get as much of the root system as possible. Use a sharp spade or knife to separate the clumps into sections, ensuring each division has both healthy roots and growing points. Finally, replant the divisions immediately in well-prepared soil and water deeply to eliminate any air pockets around the roots. Strategic late summer mulching, really builds better soil. Late summer mulching serves completely different purposes than those spring applications. And understanding this difference, well, it can truly revolutionize your soil management approach. Right now your soil has stored heat from months of summer warming, and applying mulch at this time actually captures this thermal energy for extended growing seasons. When you apply organic mulch like aged compost, shredded leaves, or straw over warm August soil, you're essentially insulating that stored heat, which continues benefiting your plants well into the fall. This trapped warmth keeps root zones active longer, while those organic materials begin slow decomposition that, over time, feeds soil microorganisms and builds soil structure throughout fall and winter. For persistent weed problems or soil-borne diseases, late summer honestly offers perfect conditions for solarization. Cover those problem areas with clear plastic sheeting, making sure to secure the edges tightly to trap in the heat. The intense late summer sun will heat the soil to temperatures that kill weed seeds, harmful nematodes, and disease organisms. Leave that plastic in place for 6 to 8 weeks for maximum effectiveness. Cover crops represent another strategic late summer opportunity. Planting buckwheat, winter rye, or crimson clover now gives you living mulch that prevents erosion, adds organic matter, and can be turned under next spring as green manure. These crops grow vigorously in fall's moderate temperatures while providing far more soil benefits than just leaving the ground bare through winter. Remove diseased plants now to save next year's garden. This crucial task might feel a bit like giving up on the season, but removing diseased plant material in late summer actually provides your best defense against those recurring problems that can plague gardens for years. Plant diseases like powdery mildew, bacterial blight, and fungal infections, well, they don't just disappear when frost kills plants. Disease organisms overwinter in plant debris, soil, and garden structures, and they're ready to reinfect your garden when favorable conditions return next spring. So it's really important to learn how to tell the difference between plants that are just tired after a long growing season and those that are actually diseased. Tired plants usually show some natural yellowing of their lower leaves, and well, they might have reduced vigor. On the other hand, diseased plants are going to display more specific symptoms like white powdery coatings, dark spots with yellow halos, wilting even though they have enough moisture, or, unusual growths and distortions. When you spot diseased plants, make sure to remove them completely, including the root systems. And, don't compost this material unless you have a hot composting system that consistently reaches temperatures above 140 degrees Fahrenheit for an extended period. Most home compost piles honestly never get hot enough to kill disease organisms, and that can create concentrated infection sources for the next year. It's really important to clean your tools between plants using a 10% bleach solution. That's 1 part household bleach mixed with 9 parts water. This simple step, prevents spreading diseases from infected plants to healthy ones, and it can stop minor problems from turning into garden-wide disasters. After removing diseased plants, consider applying beneficial microorganisms containing mycorrhizal fungi or beneficial bacteria that help suppress soil-borne pathogens. Mix these products at rates of 1 to 2 tablespoons per gallon of water and soak treated soil thoroughly according to package directions. Stop deadheading for strategic seed-saving success. Throughout the growing season, removing spent flowers encourages continued blooming by preventing energy allocation to seed production. August changes this equation completely if you want to save seeds from favorite varieties. Focus seed-saving efforts on open-pollinated varieties rather than hybrids, since hybrid seeds won't produce plants identical to their parents. Excellent candidates include heirloom tomatoes, basil marigolds, zinnias, sunflowers, and most herbs. So here we are at the stage of seed collection. It's best to let those flowers fade naturally, allowing them to develop into mature seed heads or pods. The key is to collect the seeds when they're fully mature, but just before they start to disperse on their own. Now, when it comes to identifying mature seeds, there are a few things to look out for. You'll want to see petals that have dried and fallen away. The seed heads should have changed color from green to a nice brown or tan. And here's a little trick. If you gently shake the seed heads and hear a rattle, then you know those seeds are ready. Moving on to drying and storage, which is crucial for keeping those seeds viable for next year's planting. Start by spreading your collected seeds on paper towels in a warm, dry spot with good air circulation. Make sure to avoid direct sunlight, as it can damage the seeds. Once they're completely dry, pop them into labeled paper envelopes or small jars. Keep these in a cool, dry place until you're ready to plant. Your garden transformation starts this week. These 5 strategies work together to create a comprehensive late summer management system that, honestly, most gardeners never discover. By implementing all 5 techniques, you're not just maintaining your current garden but establishing a system that improves and becomes more productive every year. Success lies in treating August as strategic preparation time rather than just passive maintenance. Every action you take now multiplies next season's results, from improved September tomato harvests to division plants that will, triple your perennial displays next summer. Don't wait for perfect conditions or next season to start implementing these techniques. Your garden's transformation begins with the first growing tip you remove or the first diseased plant you eliminate. Each step builds momentum toward the productive, sustainable garden system you've always wanted. Ready to take your late-season gardening to the next level? Subscribe to Soil and Crop Central for more science-based strategies that actually work, and share this guide with fellow gardeners who are ready to transform their August gardens into fall harvest gold mines.